Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's chapter 81 of Shattered Image, and this one is titled Flushing Them Out. Now, I know I said that it was going to be the Kiss chapter. No, I'm kidding. It is. I was just joking. It's the Kiss chapter, but it's titled Flushing Them Out, but you'll know what's coming. Your mind started to race at 100 miles an hour. How are you going to bring this up? Was now the right time to approach the subject? Should you wait? While you were looking up at him all the way up on the tower, he started to descend, and the closer he was getting to you, the more you were starting to panic over your options. He got to the last step and then suddenly, without warning, flipped upside down and started the final part of the descent head first, acting like Spider-Man with his shoes pressed either side of the tape as he slowly lowered himself. "Boo," he said with a grin as he dropped low enough so that his face was in line with yours. "Weirdo," you smirked, almost out of breath with how fast your heart was beating. There was a minute's silence while he hung there, and you just looked at him, and then he cleared his throat. I don't know if now is the right time, but I can't wait any longer. I need to ask you, would you be my..." he started to say, but you knew where he was going with his question, and without warning you grabbed his cheeks, and then your mouth met his lips and tongue pressing to yours as you made out messily with him hanging upside down in front of you. You don't know how long you kissed for, but when you pulled back for air, he quickly dropped his legs and turned, landing in front of you the right way up. Whoa, I feel lightheaded, and I don't know if it's because I've been upside down for the last few minutes, or whether it was because of that kiss, but damn," he said. Sorry, you stammered. "No," he said quickly. "No, that was amazing, and I take that as a yes to you officially being my girlfriend?" he asked. "Idiot," you said, suddenly shoving him in the chest and pushing him back so that his back was against the tower. "Huh?" he asked with surprise, looking down at you. "What's wrong? Of course it's a yes," you pouted, looking up at him. "You're cute," he said after studying you for a second, and then he bent his head down and you tilted your head up so you could kiss him again. For having been flirting like crazy for the past few weeks, if not months, you felt like it was okay to just jump straight into kissing with a little more passion than just lip to lip, and it was obvious that Sero was feeling the exact same way. Your lips and tongues played, and his hands grabbed your sides and pulled your body against his, the two of you wasting no time in getting comfortable in each other's arms. After making out again, you pulled back and took a step back, both of you panting lightly from the intense makeout session. "Whoa," Sero said. "How am I supposed to focus now, since we're doing this?" "It's supposed to be me focusing, actually, so it's fine if you're not, but yeah, I can't focus now either," you said with a small chuckle. "I just want to kiss you all night." "Yin, you're live," Mr. Miyagi suddenly said in your earpiece, and you smacked a hand over your mouth in shock and surprise. Sero too blushed with sudden surprise at hearing him in the earpiece, and then you and he both burst out laughing. "Yeah, we'll get over it," you said back to thin air, knowing Mr. Miyagi could hear you. "I suggest you check the perimeter," Mr. Miyagi commented, and you rolled your eyes. "Yeah, okay," you replied, taking Sero's hand that he held out to yours. "Checking now," you commented, walking back to overlook the wall that faced the building Mr. Miyagi, Hobie, and the other CIA men were in. You and Sero then chatted idly as you pulled out the binoculars and started looking around, and Sero pulled the binoculars down and turned to you. "How will we know if someone's acting sus?" he asked you. "Easy," you replied, still looking through yours. He returned his eyes to the binoculars and looked around for a second, and then turned to you again. "Is it?" he asked, pulling his eyes back from the binoculars to look at you. "How so?" "You can't tell if someone is up to no good?" you asked him. 50 people are easy to spot a mile away." "You're very clever," he mused as he went back to looking in the binoculars for a third time. "I guess I've just had a lot of street experience seeking out troublemakers. It takes one to know one, I guess," you mused casually, still looking through the binoculars as you scanned the street below and then started checking in all the windows of the buildings your CIA people were in. Nothing seemed amiss and you addressed Mr. Miyagi about it. "Hey, Mr. Miyagi, I don't think we're going to get much of a bite from up here, if I'm honest," you said. "If you're wanting to flush people out, it'd be better to be on the ground eyeballing people. I can spot shifties a mile away. Even better if we have Hobie with us, that'll draw them out," you said. There was silence for a bit, and then Mr. Miyagi spoke again. "Okay, yes. Come back now. We'll send you all out. I don't mind using him for bait," he said, and you cringed a little and looked at Sero. "Brutal," you said to him, and he nodded. "Guess it's time to pack up and head back," you said, putting the binoculars away and heading back to the elevator with him. hope this asshole plays nice or I'll push him into oncoming traffic. You mused sassily. Please don't, Sero said with a sweat drop look on his face. The earpiece was silent and you smirked. I think Mr. Miyagi feels the same way. You thought, he didn't tell me to not push him into oncoming traffic. Back to the hotel room you went, and were let in by the officials in black, and then met with Hobie and Mr. Miyagi. Hobie was much more subdued and stood there with hands in pockets and a scowl on his face, while Mr. Miyagi handed him over to you for the night. Okay, you can go out for a walk, go and get food, and Yin and Sero will keep an eye on you, as well as keeping an eye out for any possible threats. You'll also be tailed by my men, he said. Don't do anything stupid. He added. Hobie just scowled but didn't say anything more, which he thought was weird but didn't say anything. Him being quiet was fine with you, he didn't care for why. With him being sullen and quiet, you and Sero left with him following behind, and you all got into the elevator and then headed down. There were no smart comments from him, and you glanced at him to read his mood. Something had definitely been said by Mr. Miyagi, just judging by how quiet he was, but you still didn't care about it. Where are we going to go for food? You asked casually as you all stepped down the elevator on the ground floor and headed for the door. Don't care, Hobie grumbled. Ramen? Sero offered. Bingo, I'm in, love me some ramen, you replied, stepping out beside Sero. As you walked, you looked across to Sero. Can you find a ramen place? You asked him. Oh, yeah, can do, he said as he pulled out his phone, and you looked back to Hobie. Hey, hotshot, walk up here with us. I'm going to get arthritis in my neck if I have to keep looking back at you, you said, stepping apart from Sero so that he could walk in the middle. You felt it was safer that way since Sero could man his right side and you could man his left. While you walked, you kept an eye out for anyone sus, but it was mostly business people heading home from work and were all very focused on getting there, keeping their pace sharp and steps quick, all rushing to catch a train or a bus, and you looked across Hobie to Sero on the other side. Got the place? You asked him. Yeah. Up here, turn right. It's across the road and a little way down, he said. Something was definitely off with Hobie, and you glanced at him again as you got to the corner and then walked around it and spotted the ramen place ahead. Bingo, you said, jerking your head towards it. You all crossed the road and walked to the shop, keeping your wits about you as you entered, but since Sero had been the one to take you there, you thought it would be most unlikely that someone would be in there already waiting for you, like an ambush, so you figured watching the door for new people entering would be the best course of action. You all entered and sat at a table, with you choosing to sit facing the door so you could watch for new people entering. Sero sat next to you, and Hobie sat across from you with his back to the door, and you grabbed for a menu and then started reading through. What do you want, Hobie? You asked him. He looked up and scowled at you. What is his deal? We will see what happens next week for more Sero. I will see you on Monday for more Heard You Like Me. See you then.